All right, cool. All right, Roy says yes. Sure says yes. Awesome. And it's crazy. There's about 15 people enrolled in this class, and you all are the two consistent people who show up. So again, I want to appreciate you guys. I know we have some people from Singapore and Japan and different places in the world where their time schedule just doesn't match up with ours to be here on the call. But again, I want to thank you all for being here live. So what I wanted to do is address. There was like two questions that came in last night from someone in the group. Someone sent me a question, and the biggest question that I got was I can't remember who asked me. I think it was Julio. He asked me a question about the two separate lists. He was asking about if I can't remember his specific question, but basically his question was um, how was I separating these two lists? And again, the reason why or why did he have to create two separate lists? So I'm not telling you guys to create two separate lists in your Aweber account to do this giveaway campaign. I just created this separate list just to show you guys that this strategy was still working in real time. So our ad started about an hour, or not an hour, like literally about 20 minutes, 20 30 minutes before our call started yesterday, if you guys remember from the video or from the training yesterday. So in the last 24 hours, again, this campaign is doing 1,000 leads a day. So this campaign started literally like 30 minutes before our call, and so for the last 24 hours, we generated 1,025 leads for this campaign. But as you can see, for the entire day, again, all these leads came from Facebook today. Over 1,373 leads from Facebook today. So again, um, I think that we've already generated since we started over 4,000 leads. I can't remember how many leads that we generated the first day. I think it was 1,300. So yesterday with 1,773 and another 1,373. Again, we're over 4,000 leads that we generated on Facebook. But again, in the last 24 hours from this brand new campaign that I started, just show you guys an example, 1,000 leads came in from that particular campaign. So again, this process is very simple. Yesterday we talked about the most important part, which is monetization through email. That's going to be the biggest part. That's going to determine whether you have success with this model. Because again, um, depending on what niche you're going to be in, your leads might cost more. So as you can see, in the last 24 hours that our golf campaign started, we generated about 83 leads. So if we take a look at our golf campaign, I'm probably going to go ahead and pause this ad because again, we're already past our 50 likes now, and it's costing me about 15 cents per like. Again, I mean it's not super high, but it's not super low either. When we're actually getting website clicks for cheaper than that. So what I want to do is we're probably going to end up pausing this campaign, pausing the like campaign. But what I want to show you guys is a stat that we have here, right? So from this engagement ad that we have here, um, so let's actually like look at the lifetime of this ad since it's been running. So we're getting about 6 cents for a post engagement. So we spent about $21 and got 83 leads. So again, the CPM that we're paying is a little bit higher than I would like to pay. But again, over time, this usually goes down. So let's look at today's stats. So yeah, so today it was 437, and I think when we started initially, the CPM was like close to $8 when we started. So again, we're having a high performing ad here, um, and again, the better it starts to perform, the more Facebook is going to drop like the average CPM and the average cost per engagement for us. So the cheaper that we can get this, the the more leads that we're going to be able to get because Facebook is going to show our ads to more people because they're engaged. And Facebook is all about engagement, right? So if we actually look here, so we've gotten about 124 website visitors uh, today, right? So we're looking at today, and that was for $12. So again, so about 10 cents a click for website visitors, which is again in the golfing niche, where certain people pay anywhere from um, $1, $2 a click on any pay-per-click advertising network. We're paying 10 cents per click for website visitors in the golf market, which again is a super highly competitive market. And again, this is why I chose it. Number one is because it's, uh, I mean, again, if you're not selling something that's super high competitive, that has lower competition or lower volume, then you're going to absolutely crush this. But again, I wanted to show an example of something that's has a super high real world value, where the leads here typically you're paying anywhere from $2 to $5 to generate a lead in this market, right? And we're getting leads way less than that. So for today um, alone, we've gotten about 62 leads. Again, it's not like life change. Excuse me, not a life changing amount of leads today. But again, we've also only spent $12. So I can't really do the math. What is that, about 30 cents a lead or something like that? 30 cents a lead, which again, most of our competitors, or if we were actually building a business in this market, other people in this market are spending anywhere from $2 to $5 to get a lead in this market, because they convert really well. And usually a golfing lead, a person who plays golf, has a higher net income, so they typically spend more money on products. So it's a super high valuable lead to get on your to have on your list. And over the next few days, again, I'm gonna let this run so we can just see how Facebook optimizes it, and based on performance that we've been getting. So are you guys following along? Is this cool stuff? So what I normally do is I like to go to the page that we're on, that we're marketing on, and I like to definitely like love to come in here and comment on the post. So as you see, more people are starting to engage, right? So again, what you want to do is you want to come in here, you want to engage with them, you want to engage with them, right? So liking their posts. Um, so unlike this one, right? I'm not gonna like this one, right? So we might even want to. I don't. I typically don't delete comments even if they're negative, because of the fact that Facebook is rewarding us based on engagement. I like to have the engagement whether it's positive or negative. Again, I mean, unless the majority of them are negative, I just leave them, and I let Facebook reward me for even for being people being negative. Because what happens a lot of times on most of my pages that I use a strategy on is the other people who are rabid or really excited about the market, they're going to come in and they're going to basically um, police the comments for you. They're going to destroy the people for leaving a negative comment. So what I love to do is come in here um, and comment. Um, I might say something like, "Hey Henry, where do you play?" Right? So what's your favorite course? What's your favorite golf course? Right? Um, um, so sometimes even with like the negative comments, I'll come in and I'll write a positive. I'll write a positive comment. Oh, so I added an extra character. But yeah, so this is what I like to do. I like to come in and I like to comment. I like to get the conversation started because every time you come in here and comment, everyone who else has commented or everyone else who's liked this post is going to get a notification on their newsfeed, right? So that's going to drive them back to the page typically. And when they see the engagement happening, they're going to want to engage and be a part of the conversation too, right? So that's what I love. That's what I do to decrease the amount that I'm spending per engagement. Is I increase my personal engagement with every single person on the page. And again, this is something you can outsource, right? So you don't necessarily have to comment or come here every single day and comment yourself. Again, this is something that you can outsource. Have someone else comment, or even having someone else comment from a different page. So let's say like you have an outsourcer who just comes in here and just comments on, just responds to everybody just to get the conversation started, or ask uh, questions here because again, Facebook is rewarding you for engagement. So the more that you can get more people to comment, they're going to continue to lower what you're actually paying. So that's why when you see one of my pages like this, again, this is my most successful page where I'm using the strategy and getting leads for pennies. Is I'll show you guys one of the ads that I'm actually promoting. Let's see, is this the one? All right, so this is the newer ad, right? So with this new ad in the last 24 hours, there were already like 40 uh, uh, um, uh, comments, right? Everyone has in the last 24 hours, there have been 42 comments, right? Um, so that's that was from 24 hours, right? So the one that we've been advertising for a while now. Um, if I scroll down and find it at, let's see. Sorry about that. Taking a second. So here on the one that we've been advertising for a minute now has about 326 comments, but it's again, a lot of them are because I initiated the conversation with people. I tagged them uh, based on their responses, and then I commented back to them. So this ad is being seen by 412,000 people, and again, there's already 13,000 likes on this ad, and this ad's been running um, about 18 days now, right? So again, I'm getting engagement. My engagement cost is about 2 cents an engagement, and the reason why it's so low is because again, I'm coming in and I'm making it low. I'm engaging with the people. I'm getting them to respond. I'm being polarized, and I'm saying things that's gonna maybe even hit them at their core. I might say something that ruffles their feathers. I might say something that they believe uh, um, questions their thoughts or their beliefs, right? Because especially when someone says something negative, then I will enter a positive uh, answer like a positive statement. Like if say someone says something negative, I'll say something like, "Oh, you get 100% of what you believe to be true." Right? So again, if they don't necessarily subscribe to that philosophy, they're gonna comment back, write something smart back, and they're gonna comment back, say something slick. And again, Facebook is rewarding for me, so I want them to be upset. I want them to like write something. I want them to be engaged. I want them to have that banter back and forth because again, the more they engage, um, the less Facebook charges me, the more leads that I get using the system. Does that make sense to everyone? All right, cool, 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 cool. So, basically, what I want to ask right now is, has everybody started a campaign yet, or has anyone started a campaign yet? Okay. All right. So, Cher says she's waiting till Monday. Roy says, not searching for an edge. All right, cool, cool, cool. Yeah. So again, My whole philosophy is, again, is you want to find something where people are talking about it, something a niche or a product to base you around. Again, you want to think about the back end first. All right, so let me pull out a notepad. You want to think about the back end first. Again, the way that you make this work and the way that you make this to be profitable is to think about what does this market want or need, and basically it's your job to fulfill that, right? So again, in my example for the golfing market, right, that I'm showing right now, let's just say again, if I was seriously building the golfing market, I'm not just thinking about golf, right? Golf is just their hobby. Again, it's something that they could be absolutely be passionate about, but again, it's their hobby. Because a person golfs, there are certain things that we understand as marketers, typically, right? So we're just making generalities, right? Typically, when you think about golf, if you just said the word golf to somebody who's watched golf before, um, when I think about golf, I think about Nike, I think about Buick, like the brands that are around golf, and most of the brands and most of the ways that these companies market to golfers is you see like their avatar is usually like a white male, um, sorry, that's about 45 years old, um, may or may not, typically married, yeah, typically married, right? So again, um, when we think about this, like a few years ago, there was a big scandal about Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods, famous golfer, everyone's going crazy about his personal life, and I truly believe that a lot of the brands concerned, again, most of them are marketing to their core demographic of people are probably white males who are around 45 years or older, who are married, who are probably Christian, um, and for Tiger Woods, who is also like a successful golfer, for him to be like a black male, who was relatively young, um, who was not displaying Christian values. Oops. Um, these sponsors, they pulled their advertising around his campaign again because what he was doing in his personal life um, ruffled the feathers of their core demographic. Number one, again, like this is their core avatar of people, and again, because Tiger Woods was very successful at golf, I mean, he was able to cross over. But again, like their core market is white males, 45 years of age, who are married, who are Christian, and they can have their biggest star, you know, being a sex crazed maniac, right, so to speak. So it went against what they believed as their core value, right? So again, this is why he got in a lot of trouble. But when we think about these things, when we're looking at the ideal core value or the ideal avatar of the market that we're going after, or the niche that we're going after, um, there's certain things that start to become true, right? Um, if someone was a white male, 45 years old, who was married, who was Christian, If they're married and they're older, maybe they have children, right? So there's certain things that we start to decipher, right? And start to uh, to figure out and start certain generalities that we start and assumptions that we start to make, right? So if they're a white male, 45 years old, they're married, they have children, they're Christian, golfing is their hobby, which is uh, typically accepted by a person who has like a higher level of influence. So one of the things that we might decipher is maybe they're a homeowner, right? They're a homeowner. So obviously, one of the things that we can promote to them is like home insurance, right? Or maybe even auto insurance or I'm not car insurance. Health insurance because they have a family. Um, what else? What else can we decipher? Um, Again, if they have children, maybe they're thinking about their future, their financial future. Maybe they're thinking about sending their kids to college. So maybe it's scholarship, schooling. Um, if they're a homeowner, um, I mean, there are other things. Maybe they need to refinance their house. Um, Maybe they need a bigger house. So all these things that I'm sharing with you are all offers that you could be affiliates for, right? So that's why thinking about the back end process is more important than thinking about the front end giveaway, so to speak. Is because these things need to tie together. You're thinking about your giveaway campaign or what type of lead that you're trying to generate, but it only makes sense when you truly understand like the customer that you're or the lead that you're getting, so that you can promote relevant offers to them, right? So that's where the whole process starts. Is anybody having trouble with that, coming up with the ideal avatar, right? So Roy says investing. So yeah, so investing offers, right? These people are thinking about their retirement. They're thinking about investing. Annuities, insurance, RIAs, 401k plans, whatever, mutual funds, stocks, bonds. Maybe they're have a compulsive behavior. Maybe they're eager to learn about penny stocks or like binary options, right? All the products that we see advertised these days that have like a more like hypier uh, make money now type of. Sorry, my puppy's going crazy. Who's to stop? Have more of a um, hypier money driven angle to them, right? Um, what if the person is single? What if they're older and they're single? They just haven't met the right person, or they've been divorced. Again, so mature dating offers work, right? What else? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of different things. I'm not gonna list everything, but again, as you guys can see, if you do this correctly, if you think about the entire picture of the person, then once you're starting to get leads, um, you're able to monetize the leads effectively and make a bunch of money in the process. Have campaigns that are doing 100%, 200%, 400%, 500% ROI when you truly understand uh, the back end of the business. And I think I lost you guys for a second. All right, cool. So when you truly understand who the person is that you're speaking to. So basically today, all I wanted to do was just check in with you guys. Again, most of you guys understand the process of of putting your ads up. I showed you guys the ads. I showed you how to create the ads. So really, now it's just really about getting to the 7,000 lead mark over the next few days that we have left, helping you guys come up with the ideas for your campaigns and pushing you guys to start your campaign so you can start getting leads. Hopefully, again, if you're doing this live with me, then I can help you in the lead generation process. I can help you come up with the angles to use for your giveaway. But as you can see, for this campaign, typically most of my giveaway campaigns are converting around 50%. So as the golf one started to improve, it had dropped down to like 35% yesterday when we first started, but now it's at 47%, which is great. The current giveaway campaign that I'm using as an example for you guys right now in the hair market, it's converting at 88%, which is crazy. And again, my first campaign that I started with this process is converting around 71%. So again, and then I have other campaigns that I'm not gonna disclose on the webinar. But yeah, so that's where I wanted to focus on today. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna open up the lines to see do we have any questions, any concerns. The lines are open for you guys to unmute yourself and to jump on. So Roy asked this. So you basically try to find a market or a group of people where you can identify many back-end products and then come up with a great giveaway to give them get them on your list. Yes. So Cher says, quick question: did you build out the landing page for scholarship yourself? Yeah, I built it out myself. I can give you guys the template that I used to build it. It's pretty good at getting as it gets the person pre-qualified and ready to input the information. Yeah, so I built it out myself, and it derived from one of the landing pages I use for dating. So I just basically turned my dating landing page that I've used for dating before into the scholarship offer. So I just changed the picture, changed the text, and I can actually give that to you guys right now. Let's see, lender.zip. So let me copy this link for you guys and throw it in the chat so you guys can have that same lender. So I just posted the link so you guys can copy that link, and that'll give you the landing page template I use. Hudson says, would you split test the golfing squeeze page to boost opt-in percentage? So yeah, so typically, like I said, most of the giveaway campaigns I've done have converted at 50%. And since this one is converting right at 47%, I'm probably not going to mess with it any more than that. Again, most of the campaigns are converting at 50%, so 50% is pretty high on the cold traffic, right? So this one's at right at 47%. I'm probably not going to mess with it because, again, it's not necessarily a campaign that I'm going to be building right now. I just don't have the time to really give it the proper attention that it needs. So as long as it doesn't dip anywhere below 40%, then I'll keep it going, right? But again, you know, again, like this is a real world example where I'm getting 88% opt-in. So again, some of these campaigns are going to be where you're going to get extremely high opt-in rate. One of my friends, again, who initially shared this with me, on some of his pages, he was getting like 85.7% opt-in rate. So a little bit better than him. So that's awesome. But yeah, so again, typically though, it's right around 50%. 50%, right? So with a 71%, a 47%, 88%, Again, I'm not upset at this. Um, Again, you guys saw the page. That's the golfing page. Um, and for me, like I like to have like a lot of data before I started tweaking and testing stuff. Um, so maybe even instead of saying free Callaway driver, I might even say win a free Callaway Big Bertha driver, right? So even like by adding that might give an additional 3% bump, right? So there's small things that I probably could do to improve it, but again, until like I have significant amount of data, usually like I'll start making more adjustments around 500 visitors or so. Again, I just want the numbers to play out for themselves because again, on most of my campaigns, they started off lower and then they just shoot up, right? So, like when I started this campaign for this one, the first hair campaign initially, it was converting at 59%, and then over time through maturity of the ads, Facebook optimizing my ads and showing it to the right people, the most targeted people, then it went up to 71%, right? So again, like this started at 35% yesterday, and now it's 47%. So again, Facebook has only had 1 day of data to see what types of people click like, what types of people engage. So it's again over the next few days, it's going to continue to show people who they believe would be most likely to engage with the page and most likely to click like, the most likely to opt in, right? So that's the great part about Facebook is it does that optimization a lot for you. So this is why we use it. And Sherry, you're welcome. Any other questions? Again, I want you guys to get as much value out of this, um, as much value out of this course as possible. Um, I understand $197 investment uh, is not a small investment, but again, I've shared with you guys transparently what I'm doing right now. Again, in the last 20 days, I've built a list of 19,785 people using this strategy. So again, this is the same strategy that I've been using to build a list of almost 20,000 people, and I've only spent around $1,200 to do so. So again, you guys can do the math on that. That's crazy. There's no one else really online that's talking about that. Not at this moment in time. So Roy says good stuff, Ryan. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Um, Cher says, have you had any issues with Aweber and complaints? I know they list the number of complaints received on an email. Just wondering if you encounter anyone clicking spam, even though it's correct. Yeah, so you're gonna have people clicking spam. So let me show you guys something. Let me go to list, and you'll see that people do hit spam. However, the reason why you want to try and go fast and build your list fast is because your spam complaint rate is only a problem to a certain threshold, right? So you can get like one spam complaint for every 1,000 subscribers. So as you can see, so the last broadcast I did was when the list was 16,163. I had 3 spam complaints. So again, you can have one spam complaint for every 1,000. So that means that for every email that I send out, when this list was this size, that I could have up to 16 spam complaints without necessarily being in trouble with Aweber, right? So 3 spam complaints for a list size of 16,163, that's not a lot. So again, right here, you see it's still blue. The only time you run into a problem when it starts to get yellow or get red, right? So you will see in the beginning how this is in the red. So again, you're supposed to have one spam complaint for every 1,000 subscribers. So even when this was 10,000, like this was pushing it, right? This was pushing it. So they gave me like a little warning here. But other than that, yellow, I mean, yellow is letting you know that it's getting close to that threshold. But yeah, so you can see that in the last month, I've only had one email that went this far, and that's because you see these two emails. RE, is this a scam? And then okay, let's try this again. RE, is this a scam? I sent these emails, as you can see, 339 and 404. I sent them too close together. I made an error in this message, so I resent the message to the entire list, and that's why I got the complaints that I did. So other than that, these complaints are relatively small in comparison to the list size that I have. So again, as long as you address the fact that you're going to be providing them emails over the next few days, then you shouldn't have a problem with spam complaints, right? And as long as you make your unsubscribe clear, like for me, most of my emails, I'm pushing them. I say, hey, if you don't want to be on the list anymore, you can unsubscribe at any time. Roy says this seems almost too easy. Yeah, so that's why I was like, as far as like the education part, I mean, we're almost done with the education part of the process. I mean, it is pretty easy. It's just most people aren't aware that you can do this with Facebook. From your experience, what is actually the hardest part of the process? So yeah, so the hardest part of the process is coming up with the right giveaway for the right audience. That's going to be the hardest part of the process. Hudson says, do you delete those that bounce? Aweber does a good job at removing the bounces. 'Cause some of the bounces, again, like I shared on day one of my biggest mistakes is I started sending from a Gmail account. In my Aweber, I was sending from Gmail, and that's where I was getting a lot of my bounces from, because I was sending from a Gmail account, a free email account, as opposed to sending from a domain name. So basically, most of these bounces are not real bounces. They're not hard bounces. They're soft bounces because, again, I'm sending out too much email from a free email account, right? So yeah, as long as you're using a domain name, Aweber removes the bounces. That's the best part of using like a service like Aweber or a service like GetResponse. They stay on top of the reputation management with the autoresponder with the ISPs. So that's why it's good to use these type of autoresponders. Again, I use self-hosted autoresponders, and then you're the one who's responsible for removing the bounces and making sure all that stuff gets filtered out. So that's a different beast in itself. But yeah, if you're using one of the in the box platforms, then again, this is crazy. And again, like I wanted to show you, I showed you guys this example the other day. I believe the purpose of being able to build these big lists is you can have your own traffic, right? So 2,100 clicks in the email, right? And this was pushing to a scholarship offer, right? So if I view the stats, again, send out an email to 15,000 people. Yeah, I got 7 spam complaints, but again, you're afforded 1 spam complaint for every 1,000 emails. So as long as this doesn't hit 14, 15, then I'm good, right? So as you can see, unsubscribes 0.06. This is the only place where you have to worry about unsubscribes. You typically want to keep your unsubscribes 0.5 or lower per email. So that's one metric that again, 89 unsubscribes. So that put me at 0.6. But again, I still haven't had an issue with Aweber. But typically, where you want to be on unsubscribes is 0.5 or lower. So I'm like right at that threshold. But again, on most emails, I'm below that threshold. Yeah, on most emails, I believe that I'm below that threshold. Let me see. So you see 0.5. .4. So again, yeah. So I'm right at the threshold, and again, you know, again, I recommend. Again, this is not something that's going to get your Aweber account shut down. I don't typically recommend things that are going to be black hat or do something that's going to put your account in jeopardy. But I'm an email marketer. I've been an email marketer for 8 years. I've lost accounts before doing crazy things with my emails before. So again, with this play, I'm trying to do everything by the book, by the way that Abraham wants us to do things. But still, at the end of the day, um, when you put 100% of your eggs in one basket, then you're liable for anything to happen. So I recommend uh, is for me, like, I download my list daily, right? I export my list daily, so I have backups of my list every single day. That's something that I preach, and something that I was taught at an early age to do, is to back up your list daily, right? So um, if you don't know how to do that, you're basically just going to go to create a managed list, and you're just going to back up and export all active lists, right? And it's gonna create a zip file and send it to your um, email, right? So I have this for download for the other day. So I did this maybe on the 14th. I don't even know what today is. So yeah, so it's almost been a week since I backed up my list. So let me just back it up again, right? So again, I used to be in the practice where I was doing it every single day. But again, as my list started to grow crazy like this month, again, this was one of my tested Aweber accounts. This is not even my main Aweber account. Again, I mean, I've generated over 600,000 leads online before. So um, again, like, I have a couple of different Aweber accounts, and this most of you, some of the people on here, I think Hudson was one of the, or maybe not Hudson, Richard. He was on one of my classes that I started in November. So in this test account, when I started in November, the size of my list was like 3,100 people, and now it's 23,299. So that was just a little over a month ago. So less than, in like 45 days, um, being able to exponentially grow my list like crazy. But more so in the last 20 days, over 21,000 subscribers, or 20,000 subscribers in the last 20 days, and all of them came from Facebook. So it's real. And I know Roy said it looks easy. I mean, it pretty much is easy, because there's not a lot of technical moving parts, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this a higher priced product, and then also, like, for everyone, because again, I don't necessarily want every single person trying to do this strategy on Facebook, which will obviously continue to, like, drive up the cost and make it not affordable for anyone to have success. So again, I wanted this to be a tightly knit group of the 3%ers who understand the value of building a real business, and the value of building real subscribers. And again, as you can see, this is the real proof. I'm logged into Aweber. There's no funny business going on. If I refresh the screen, this number probably will increase. It didn't increase, but that's okay. Let's go to subscribers. Let's look at this subscriber date time. Again, I'm doing this in real time so that you guys can see what's going on. And we're just gonna look at what's added today. And again, so like their lead, they literally just came in at this minute. 2 leads just came in literally like at this very minute, right? So 941 in since midnight of last night, right? So 941 subscribers since midnight of last night. And again, Aweber takes a few minutes from when they actually show up as a subscriber, from when your subscriber count actually goes up. So in a minute or two, we'll see these numbers go up by 2 if they haven't already been counted. But yeah, it can be easy. So Rich just jumped on the line. And Richard, again, he can verify, you guys. When I started this test account for my other class, where I was showing them how to make $5,000 in 30 days, this test account started at around 3,000 subscribers, or maybe like 2,900 subscribers. And again, if you watch my video on that very first day, or if anybody was there on that very first day, they can see that my test account was around 2,900 or 3,100 subscribers. And now in this test account, 23,000 subscribers, and the majority of them came from Facebook. You know, like I mean, at least 20,000 came of them from Facebook. Well, I mean, pretty much all of them came from Facebook. There was 820 or 838 leads that came from Bing. So minus that, everything else came from Facebook. That's here. Cher says, have you tested using first name on the opt-in landing page versus just using email address? From prior tests, the opt-in rate drops when you request a name. So I'm guessing that's why. Yeah. So anytime you add a field, your conversion rate is gonna go down. However, typically when you do add fields, you get a stronger quality lead, right? So there's a trade-off there. And again, for this just cold market test, I just figured that the email would convert better. And again, as you can see, I mean, some of these pages are converting at 88%. Um, you know, and that's just because it's just email. Whereas if I was collecting name, this probably might be 70% or 65%. Um, so again, it's you might get a stronger quality lead because again, the person is more engaged in the process of opting in. But yeah, for me, typically, I'll worry about their engagement because I'm an email marketer. I'll worry about their email engagements once I have them on the list. I'll get them engaged. I'll get them buying something when they're on the list because I'm an email marketer. So for me, I just want the leads. And again, you're building an asset. Like I could literally go to someone today and say like, "Hey, you want my Aweber account? $10,000. Wire it to my bank account. You can get these leads. You can have this account, and I'll start over." Right? So again, you're building an asset that you can sell, you can lease, you can rent. Um, it's awesome. Awesome. All right. Do we have any final questions for today? Richard says, "Do you ever sell solo ads?" Yeah. So, I used to sell solo ads a lot, and it just became a lot to manage because, again, I would get very great good data, and there was a lot of marketers who started to promote my services, and again, it just became that wasn't my full time business, but it became my full time business doing that and just managing it all. It just became a headache. So typically, I don't necessarily sell solos, but like for this list, again, it's something that I'm open to doing. Like if someone had an offer that's health related or um, weight loss or skincare or anything that's beauty related, I'll definitely be open to doing a solo ad for them. But again, I'm going to charge what I believe that these leads are worth. It's going to be somewhere around 80 cents a click, $1 a click for my health and beauty list. Because on most of the offers that I promote, I'm getting at least $1 EPC for myself, so it doesn't make sense to sell it less than that. So my biggest goal is to be like an Archamax one day, where if somebody wants a solo ad, I can send 4,000, 5,000 clicks, and just charge 16, $1,700 an email, and do that every single day, right? So that's like their business model where they charge like $1,600, $1,700 an email, and again, you might get a lot of more, you might get more clicks from a service like that. But again, like think about it, $1,600, $1,700 a day. They don't have to do anything real. Like they just email every day, send out an email every day. It's a great business model to be in. Um, so yeah, so it's really just trying to build up my list to the point where I can send a high volume of clicks and maybe just sell like one solo ad a month to like someone that's high end, or I mean one solo ad a week. So like sell a 5,000 click solo ad for like 80 cents a click, so make $4,000 a week just in an email, and just provide content and value for the rest of the days, right? Cool. All right, so we're approaching the top of the hour. Um, do we have any more questions? Again, I want to make sure that we answer them all.